This week on Clearing the Air, we have a great chance to catch up with Caleb. He's somebody that I met a number of years ago in the company as he was moving along in his career. And I had caught up with him recently, encouraged him to look for an opportunity here in the project. We'll talk a little bit about those experiences and what it was like for him to grow up in Maine. I'm Thorn Dickinson. This show allows me to talk with Mainers working on the most important clean energy project to ever come to our state. We discuss how this project is providing jobs and other benefits today while creating clean energy for a better tomorrow.
I just started this role 2 months ago as a cost control analyst. I'm working to report and analyze the forecast versus our actual results that come in every month by a company basis, each contract, each purchase order that we have.
So in doing that process, I'm assuming you're not it's not just a numbers thing. You actually have to ask the questions, and in order to do that, you have to understand what work they're doing or how that fits into the larger project.
Exactly. So right now we're working, we're putting up structures. We have crews out there are doing it. We purchase all these timber mats from suppliers, various suppliers in Maine. And so right now I'm looking, do we have enough timber mats for this project? What's our risk going to be moving forward? Where are we going to try to get these at the most cost-effective way?
So what's an example of an uncertainty that you're kind of working your way through right now?
Yeah, so one aspect that we didn't account for in the beginning of the project was the fact that we were going to be required to purchase 40,000 acres of conservative land here in the state of Maine. Yeah. And so we have an estimate for a per acre cost on this, and we now need to really change that estimate into an actual and get as close as we can so we can get the approvals that we need and push that cost through.
To me, that's another example of a project benefit that I think helps to understand the impacts of the project, but also the benefits, because we're impacting maybe 1,200 acres of land, but we're conserving 40,000 acres of land that the state has set as a priority to protect, that they're concerned about development. So,
and I don't, as somebody that didn't work on the project prior, you didn't hear anything about this 40,000 acres. That's a lot of land. At the end of the day, I'm from Maine, and I want to be able to make a difference in Maine. And I think that this project is a great opportunity. And once this project goes through, I want to continue to make an impact in Maine. So, and make it a better place for the kids and the people to come.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's an opportunity just to, you were in the company when the project got more noisy, but maybe you had your first perspective on it. Now you're in it, you're learning a lot about it. What would you say to other Mainers if you're trying to explain to them why you think this is an important project for the state? Yeah,
so when I was originally, before working for Avangrid, I was under the same understanding as some of my coworkers, in the sense that you only heard the opposition. And I think that we've done a lot better of a job getting the correct message out. Because when I started work for the company, I met you and started hearing a lot of those benefits that I really wasn't hearing, whether I wasn't reading the newspaper as a millennial or not. It really changed my perspective on it, because I only heard negative things. When you only hear negative, it's what you're going to think.
So was there something specific that you heard there, like, geez, that's a piece of information that I wish everybody in the state really knew?
So I'm from Maine. I talk Maine. I went to college in Boston. I talk Maine to everybody. I think it's best state in the country. I think it has everything to offer. It's just a different pace of life for people up here. And I think that one piece that I'm very passionate about, and I think is, you can't quantify it, is that the fiber optic going to northern Maine. I think that, especially with these uncertain times of COVID, that's connecting a whole nother part of the state of Maine that didn't have it before, right? So that creates endless possibilities for companies to move up there and start working that couldn't do that before.
Some people that really care about the state, that were skeptical about the project but wanted to engage with us, started to encourage us to think about a bigger investment and putting more fiber on there. In the end, what we agreed after a lot of great conversations was we would put a significant amount of fiber, well more of what anybody would need in the short term, but really could help the state over the next decades. And that fiber connects directly into the line that goes from London to New York City. So now all of a sudden, like you said, whether it's Solon or whether it's Bingham or West Forks, those communities, because they're so close to our line, are going to be able to connect directly into that fiber and give that really incredible broadband experience, whether it's education or healthcare or medical or that ability to work remotely.
And I feel like this is something that Augusta, people in Augusta have been trying to do for years, right? And we're able to bring it to life with this project in conjunction with it. And it requires less of, we're doing the investment. The state isn't having to do the investment. The taxpayers aren't having to do the investment. So this is another benefit that people aren't really talking about.
So you say you went to school in Boston, but you grew up in Maine. Talk a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, so I grew up in Rumford. I went to Mount Valley High School, graduated in 2015, paper mill town for anybody that doesn't know about it. My dad worked at the paper mill, my grandfather worked in the paper mill, a lot of my aunts and uncles work in the paper mill, right? So from there, I wanted to go experience something else. I mean, a lot of kids from Rumford, they either go into a trade, they go into the mill, which is a great career. Plenty of people have done it, or they go to college up at Maine, or stay locally mostly. I was one of a couple of kids. I went down to Boston. I went to Suffolk University and studied finance. My dad ran area youth football, and I was very involved with that youth development in football growing up while he was in charge. Volunteering on those types of things. And nowadays, my focus is shifted to Black Mountain, which is a nonprofit ski area in Rumford. It's 4th or 5th biggest ski area in the state of Maine. It's awesome. I volunteer when I can. I support the mountain. I'm there every weekend. I'm an advocate here in southern Maine, right? Trying to tell people, you go to some of these bigger mountains, you don't have that feel. When you walk into Black Mountain, you're seeing the same faces every time. You're not having to worry about your kids playing outside on the snowbanks, right? Everybody's watching everybody.
I want to say thank you for your time. We had a chance to sit down a few times as you were kind of moving through your career. I remember a lot of really good conversations. And when we touched base about the opportunity in the project, I was extremely excited for it. And I hope that you continue to learn and also continue to give back to Maine, which sounds like a big part of who you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.